Guys, welcome back to Remove Before Race. As promised, today is the beginning of the AMG Roadtrip 2017, and I've got with me here Tristan, fellow teammate.
Hey guys.
And we're going to talk to you a little bit about what it is, what this road trip rather is all about. So anyone can drive to AMG, but this is the 50th year of AMG, so it's really a special and momentous occasion. And this is of course the year when they've just brought out the hypercar, the Project One.
Yeah.
But as well as the Project One, they brought out some special editions like the C63S of Blue Ocean, and we had the what other special editions did they have? The
well, we had the Edition 50, which
50.
is in the GTC range, which is probably the most famous of the special editions that came this year. There have been a few others, subtle but nice additions that have come through.
So myself, I've bought a coupe. I've got a Roadster on the way in December, as you guys know. Tristan's car just arrived yesterday, and at the same time as our coupe, JSY AMG, our friend from Instagram, his came at the same time as mine, and he has just left Jersey and is traveling through France to Reims, where we're going to rendezvous with him in another Edition 50. But let's show you our one first. We'll talk about this very special car in a minute.
So as Raz mentioned, I'm going to be the lucky owner of an Edition 50 myself soon. There are only 25 of these coming to the United Kingdom, 500 for the world, and 3 of them belong to Remove Before Race members, which is quite amazing, really. Four of them. Goodness me. So this one here is the Remove Before Race long-term test car, and this has some very special additions here for the road trip. So we have here the additional 50 years of AMG stripe, which has been very popular this year on a lot of AMGs and a lot of AMG promotional material. If we follow this round, we've made a very nice change inside here. We have the red seat belts. Now, these are normally silver on the Edition 50, but these have been changed to red, and it just gives it that little bit more of a pop.
We also wanted it to sort of match with the calipers on the outside, because the only other colour to come in this monochromatic car is that red, so it helps pop out everything else.
Exactly. So we have the stripe here, very reminiscent of the AMG 50 years stripe. All of these additions have been done by Rock Studio, which was born out of a love for AMG, and I myself will be using them very soon on a number of different projects, so stay tuned for those.
We also put paint protection film on the front of the car, because we're doing what, about 1300, 1400 miles minimum?
Absolutely necessary.
Now the other car that we've been given very kindly by Mercedes Benz UK, and the person who gave it to us knows who they are, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is the car that I will be driving, and for me this is the ultimate road trip car, and it is the AMG E63S 4MATIC Plus Wagon. And again, we went to Rock Studio and we decided to change it up a little bit for the trip. So we've added the Edition 1 stripes on the side, just to make the body of the car pop a little bit. And we've also put our Instagram handles because, hey, why not, right? So we've got myself, we've got Tristan, and because this is basically our Remove Before Race support car, we put Remove Before Race, and a little thank you to Rock Studio and Dub Customs where the work was done. One more thing before we set off. Tris, I got a little gift for you. Sorry, I didn't tell you. So that is...
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Edition 50.
That is fantastic.
Magna Graphite Grey.
Raz, you're a legend.
That's all right, man.
Thank you so much.
Anything
really appreciate that.
So guys, you're probably wondering what these are. These are the brand new one-man, cases being made by Rock Studio. There's a link in the description below for you to pre-order, or they'll probably be out by the time you watch this video. So this is actual Mercedes AMG paint.
Wow.
So if we have a look at it here, just comparing it to the car, my car's a little bit dirty, but it is the exact shade, the same lacquer, the same everything, and you have to protect and look after the case in the same way. So Tristan's just received, as we said, his GTC Edition 50, and now this matches his car as well. So we can do any manufacturer shade, any finish, and it will be available for the iPhone X and all other iPhone models, and other phones will be on special orders. So yeah, if you're interested, the link's below. So now we're about to set off shortly. We're going to meet, as I said, David in Reims in France, and then we're going to shoot off straight to Affalterbach on Saturday. So let's get on with this journey. out guys on the Eurotunnel. We've got the AMG safety car here, given to us by Mercedes AMG for the trip. This was driven by the Stern blogger crew, so if you check out their website and Instagram and stuff, and it's all been branded up with the hashtags that we're using for the journey, so AMG Roadtrip 2017. You've seen all this stuff on Instagram. And in the back there you've got RBR's own Drogon. There is Drogon, sitting pretty in the Eurotunnel. Got the Stern blogger crew leaning on the E63. And we've also got the media van with Johannes from Fünf Komma Sechs, which is a huge, awesome German channel. Do check them out as well. Eurotunnel is notorious for getting your wheels damaged, but what we've done is, if you book with either a roof box or like a bicycle rack, you get put into the larger cabin. So if you look here, we've got huge amounts of space between the curb and the wheel, which means that there's no hassle, there's no tension, and if you come in enough cars, you get the whole carriage to yourself as well, which is fantastic. So good morning guys, we're in France and we've met up now with JSY AMG and we're about to leave to make our way to Affalterbach. So there's our media team bus. Getting ready for the trip. Hi.
Hi.
That was good timing. There it is, JSY's Edition 50, the twin of the group. The other twin rather. Built and arrived at the same time as our long-term test car Drogon. Oh, listen to that. And Drogon awakes. Exhaust on, hopefully. There's the safety car over there. And the duo are together. There's Mr. Turnbull looking very serious. Hello, David.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, mate.
Excited?
Absolutely ecstatic. So where's the Drogon then?
Drogon is back there somewhere. Tristan's handling it. Morning, Tristan.
Good morning, buddy.
How's your sleep?
Not too bad. It was
alright.
It was made better by knowing I was waking up to driving this beautiful beast.
Well, we've got about 4 hours to do now, haven't we?
We have indeed. A few stops along the way. We're going to go to the historical circuit at Rem.
Oh, brilliant.
Which was an ex-F1 circuit, I believe.
Yeah.
Get the cars washed, maybe a bit of gas, and then Affalterbach.
Straight to Affalterbach. So Tristan, where are we?
We are in Rem. And this is the circuit to something or other. Very historic circuit. I believe it was a Formula 1 racetrack at some point, but
okay.
it's basically a main road with some
It's a main road.
grandstands.
So we've had French people driving down and horning us and swearing at us and all the usual
They
good
don't like
stuff.
all the German cars lined up.
No, they don't like it. So we'll show you what our cars look like here. We just thought it was a nice spot to sort of take some cool retro racetrack photos, really. But it's a nice place to sort of appreciate the cars as well.
Yeah, and the cars look amazing lined up there.
They're really good. So we're currently in David or JSY AMG's brand new GTC Edition 50 and he is beaming about it.
Absolutely.
How are you finding it, buddy? You waited a long time for this car.
13 months.
13 months.
13 months, and it was worth the wait.
And it was touch and go, wasn't it? We were always messaging each other saying, right, is it going to come for the road trip? Isn't it? Are you going to be driving a Smart there, or are you going to be driving a GT?
The Island Viper was very nearly coming.
Yeah.
I think AMG definitely pulled some strings for us and got us our cars.
I think so.
And
unfortunately for
arrived really
Tristan, his came a day before that we were going to set off, but he's driving Drogon and I got a nice E63S Wagon. So how are you finding it? I mean, is it opening up? You've done what, 500 miles?
500 miles, so still running in. Another 500 to go. Increasing it steadily. The noise is phenomenal.
Are you finding things changing as it's running in? Because when I was driving Drogon, I found initially first 100 miles the exhaust was quite quiet even with the button on, But as it started progressing, the exhaust started opening up.
It's
and the
definitely
throttle
getting noisier.
response and
Yeah, definitely getting noisier. The rear wheel steering takes quite a bit of getting used to, particularly at lower speed. Caught me out a couple of times, but now...
In what sense? In how sharp it is?
With how sharp it turns.
Because it's literally that on rails go-kart feeling,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
yeah. You need minimal steering effect to really get the results.
Yeah.
But once you're used to it, it's fantastic.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Really aids with parking.
Because with the old GT didn't have it, and it would jump on the limit.
That's right, yep.
And it was, a lot of people said it in the reviews as well, but this doesn't have any issues with that.
Absolutely.
So it shortens the track of the car when you're doing that.
And with the wide body, it's just fantastic.
It looks fantastic when it's driving, and obviously we'll show some driving shots of yours while we're going along.
Brilliant.
But I bet you can't wait to run it in and actually give it some...
I'm carefully watching the miles. I can't... Yeah, we're going to put some more on this afternoon going into Affalterbach.
Yeah.
Then during the week, and the drive home on Friday.
Do you reckon will you be running on the way home?
I'm hoping so.
I think you might be. Right, so we're now going to take off in the Convoy.
Yep.
And we're going to head straight to Affalterbach without any stops.
We are
now,
indeed.
aren't we? So the next time you see us, we're going to be at the home of driving performance.
See you then.
Hey guys, so welcome to the GTC Coupe Edition 50, the removed before race long-term test car, which I'm very lucky to be driving on this AMG Roadtrip 2017. But the most interesting thing for me is that my own GTC Edition 50 Coupe arrived just before this trip started. And so this really is like my full introduction to my very own car. The first thing I noticed when I set off from Raz's house, Rockenau on Instagram, is the turn-in with the rear wheel steer, even at the slowest speeds, is just so... It really is that feeling of cornering on rails, and this doesn't apply to whether you're on a motorway or whether you're pulling out of a drive, or it's just so noticeable, so smooth, and it's a little bit strange to start with maybe. Once you really understand its capability and the traction and cornering capability it gives you, it's something else. So yesterday we set off from the UK, but it was a pretty smooth journey, and this is, you know, it's a GT. It's made for cruising, and I put it into the Distronic Plus, you know, cruise control system, and I just sat there for 2 hours, 3 hours, very comfortable, did everything I wanted it to do. We're still in running in this car, so it can't be pushed too hard, but you know, it's just an incredible car. It's kind of a jack of all trades. Comfortable cruiser, all of the toys, but it can turn into a real animal when you want it to. I'm currently just following David Turnbull, who's JSY AMG on Instagram, in his Edition 50. And so it's a unique position. I'm driving my own car without driving my own car. I'm following another Edition 50, and I get to see it in motion on the road. It's incredible, it really is. And I've got Raz in the E63 Wagon behind us, and wow, that thing is a beast, I tell you. The pickup on that is incredible. I wouldn't want to drag race that E63 in this GTC. Completely different cars, but that thing is something special.
You know what? Let's show up these GTs with this big fat estate car. There it goes. See ya. Actually, he's doing all right. How good is that? We've got 3 people in here, loads of luggage, and this is a big fat 1.8 ton super estate. And an AMG GT couldn't keep up. So let's talk a little bit about why I chose the E63S Wagon. I had more passengers, I've got more luggage, but I still wanted to have fun. So I could have picked any AMG out of MB UK's fleet. But I thought the most exciting one is this E63S 4MATIC Plus wagon. 612 brake horsepower, 4MATIC Plus. It can keep up and pretty much destroy these GTs that we're traveling with. And it sounds absolutely disgusting. I mean, just listen to this now. My car is the only one here that's pretty much run in, apart from the safety car. And it is just ridiculous. Now we're waiting till we get onto the German Autobahn to really give it some. But as a E63S saloon owner, this thing is no different. You'd think the body shape might make it different dynamically or make it feel slower, but it's exactly the same. And it's such a sleeper because of that now. Okay, we've added the Edition 1 stripes with Rock Studio on the sides, but if we didn't, this is such a sleeper, especially in this spec. And people just wonder, what is this thing making this noise and traveling at those speeds? And that's a great feeling to have. And that's not to say that the car doesn't look intimidating. I mean, you look at the front end and it looks as wide as the GTs. It looks as menacing. Now, neither of the GTCs that we have are run-in, but even with this 600 brake horsepower beast, it's tough to keep up with those two. But they look absolutely stunning. It's like following someone who's just got a perfect rear end. It's that kind of feeling. I cannot overestimate how much better and smoother the European roads are. From all the way from Calais, all the way down to Germany, through Germany, compared to the UK. I mean, our roads are absolute doggy doo-doo. I can't swear on YouTube. Now, what's some of the stuff we're going to do when we get there? Well, first of all, we're going to meet all of the German Instagram lot who you guys follow and no doubt you're aware of. People like the legendary engine builder, Micheal Kübler. We're going to sit down and do a separate video with him where we'll do an interview. We'll go around in his C63S Coupe, which he has called the White Shark. And we'll also show you around the brand new AMG showroom that they've built there, with hopefully some nice little surprises there for you as well. We'll be doing a factory tour of the GT production line and the AMG engine building line, but in order to see the behind the scenes of that, you'll have to go to the official Mercedes Benz YouTube channel, and we'll leave links for that below. One more. Scary. This is just a mega wagon. I love it to pieces. There is not a more complete AMG that you could buy. So guys, we're just arriving here at HQ. It's quite late now because we had quite a few stopovers while filming, but we are on Maybachstraße now, and we're just turning onto Daimlerstraße, which means we have arrived. So, if you look ahead,
you have reached your destination.
Everyone seems quite happy.
Is on the right.
Well guys, we've arrived at Affalterbach, as you can see. Oh, tired but happy. It's been an amazing drive, and this is the end of part 1 of the video. So we've arrived, and now there's loads more to come with Micheal Kübler and all the gang here, so stay tuned for part 2. Next time on Remove Before Race, I talk cars with the legendary AMG Engine Builder Micheal Kübler, and we go for a ride in his awesome C63S Coupe, the White Shark, to learn a little about the man himself, so stay tuned.